The cake was ablaze with 5 pink candles, flickering like tiny beacons of hope in the dimming light of our backyard. Laughter echoed from the cluster of children chasing balloons, their squeals piercing the warm summer evening. My daughter, Lily, beamed up at me, her eyes wide with the pure, unfiltered joy only a child can muster. "Mommy, blow with me," she begged, her tiny hands clutching mine. I leaned in, ready to make a wish for her, for us, when a venomous whisper slithered into my ear like a serpent. "Strike. You're just a leech, sucking the life out of our son." The words came from my mother-in-law, Evelyn, her voice a low hiss masked by the chaos of the party. Her husband, Harold, nodded beside her, his lips curled in silent agreement. I froze. The air sucked from my lungs as if I'd been punched. The hook was set. In that instant, the facade of our fragile family shattered. And I knew this birthday wouldn't end with cake and presents. It would end with truth raw, ugly, and long overdue. My name is Sarah, and I've spent the last 6 years navigating the treacherous waters of my marriage to Mark. We met in college, 2 dreamers with stars in our eyes. He was the golden boy from a wealthy family, studying finance with a future paved in gold. Love blinded us to the gaps until his parents made sure I saw them clearly. From the wedding day onward, Evelyn and Harold treated me like an intruder. "She's not from our world," Evelyn would say in not so subtle asides. They'd gift us lavish vacations, but conveniently forget to include me, or criticize my hobby of painting as if it were a childish whim rather than my passion. Mark defended me at first, but over time the pressure wore him down. He started working longer hours, leaving me to raise Lily alone while I juggled freelance illustration gigs from home. The Leech label wasn't new, but hearing it at Lily's 5th birthday party, that was a new low. The party was my doing handmade decorations, a homemade cake shaped like a fairy castle, games I planned for weeks. Mark's contribution? Showing up late from the office, his tie still knotted, phone glued to his hand. His parents arrived bearing an oversized gift, a trust fund check for Lily, presented with fanfare that screamed, "See what we can provide that your mother can't." As the whisper hung in the air, I straightened up, forcing a smile for Lily's sake. 1, 2, 3 blow. We extinguished the candles together, applause rippling through the guests, but inside a storm brewed. How dare they? I'd given up my dreams for this family. After Lily's birth, I put my career on hold to be the stay-at-home mom Mark insisted we needed. "It's for the best," he'd said. My salary covers everything. But it didn't cover the isolation, the judgment, the slow erosion of my self-worth. The party continued in a blur. Kids devoured pizza and cake. Parents chatted about schools and vacations. Evelyn and Harold hovered like vultures, their eyes following my every move. Mark, oblivious or willfully blind, laughed with his father about some stock tip. I excused myself to the kitchen, pretending to fetch more drinks, but really to steady my shaking hands. Leaning against the counter, I stared at the sink full of dirty plates, my mess to clean later. Tears pricked my eyes. A leech? Me? The one who woke at dawn to pack lunches, who soothed Lily's nightmares, who turned our house into a home. Rage bubbled up, hot and fierce. No more. Tonight, it ends. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through old emails, finding the one I buried deep. Confirmation of my latest commission. For months, I'd been secretly building my portfolio again, taking on illustration jobs under a pseudonym. It started small, a book cover here, a magazine spread there, but it grew. Last week, I'd landed a contract with a major publisher for a children's series, The Advance, enough to change everything. But that wasn't all. There was the folder on my laptop, hidden in plain sight, bank statements, emails, photos, evidence of Mark's late nights that weren't at the office. The lipstick on his collar last month, the mysterious charges on our card for hotel rooms. I'd suspected for a year, but stayed silent for Lily. Not anymore. Back outside, the sun dipped low, casting long shadows. Lily opened gifts, her face lighting up at the dollhouse from her grandparents. "Thank you, Nana and Papa," she chirped. Evelyn beamed, but her eyes flicked to me with triumph. "We spoil her because we can," she said loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. I waited until the crowd thinned, kids bundled into cars with goodie bags. Mark suggested we all sit for coffee. Family time, he called it. Evelyn and Harold settled on the patio, smug as ever. Actually, I said, my voice steady despite the pounding in my chest, I have something to share. Mark looked puzzled. Sarah? Voice steady despite the pounding in my chest. I have something to share. Mark looked puzzled. Sarah? Mark looked puzzled. Sarah? My voice steady despite everything okay? I met Evelyn's gaze head on. At the cake, you called me a leech. Said I'm sucking the life out of your son. The color drained from her face. Harold sputtered. We didn't. Oh, you did. I pulled out my phone, hitting play on a recording app I discreetly activated earlier. Their whispers echoed. You're just a leech ... Mark's eyes widened. Mom? Dad? What the hell? Evelyn recovered quickly. It's true. She's contributed nothing. Living off your money, playing house while you slave away. I laughed a bitter, freeing sound. Nothing. Let me enlighten you. I opened my laptop, projecting onto the patio wall for dramatic effect. First, my portfolio. Vibrant illustrations, client testimonials, the publisher's contract. I've earned $50,000 this year alone, more than enough to support Lily and me. Gasps from Mark. Evelyn's mouth gaped like a fish. But that's not all. I switched to the folder. Photos of Mark with his assistant. Time-stamped emails arranging meets, credit card bills. Well, I've been the leech. Your precious son has been cheating for over a year. Mark jumped up. Sarah, that's not... How did you... I hired a pie 3 months ago. After you forgot our anniversary again. Tears welled now, but they were cathartic. I stayed for Lily, but no more. We're done. Harold blustered. This is outrageous. You're destroying this family. Family? I shot back. You've never treated me as family. You saw me as a gold digger from day one. But guess what? I don't need your money or Mark's. Lily, who'd been inside watching cartoons, wandered out. Mommy? Why is everyone yelling? I knelt, hugging her tight. It's okay, sweetie. Mommy's just standing up for herself. The confrontation escalated. Evelyn hurled insults. Trailer trash. Harold threatened to cut off Mark's inheritance if he didn't handle me. The divorce papers are ready. I'll file tomorrow. Lily stays with me primary custody. And your trust fund? Should get it, but under my control. As they stormed out, Evelyn's parting shot. You'll regret this. I didn't. That night, after tucking Lily in, I sat on the porch staring at the stars. Freedom tasted sweet like the cake we'd shared earlier. The next morning, the real transformation began. Lily thrived, her laughter untainted by tension. Mark fought the divorce at first, but evidence and his parents' meddling backfired. He ended up with supervised visits, his affair exposed in court. Evelyn and Harold? They tried to smear me in their social circles, but word got out about their cruelty. Friends distanced themselves. Even Mark pulled away, resenting how they poisoned our marriage. Months later, at Lily's kindergarten graduation, I sat alone in the audience, proud, independent. No in-laws hissing in my ear. As Lily waved from the stage, diploma in hand, I whispered my new mantra. I'm no leech. I'm a survivor. But the story didn't end there. One evening, a knock at my door. It was Mark, looking haggard. Sarah, I was wrong. They were wrong. Can we talk? I let him in not for reconciliation, but closure. He apologized profusely, admitting his parents' influence had warped him. I miss you. I miss our family. Emotional waves crashed over me, love lingering like a ghost. But I stood firm. You chose them over us. Now I'm choosing me. He left, defeated. Later, I heard he cut ties with his parents, starting therapy. Part of me hoped he'd heal for Lily's sake. As for me, my book series launched to rave reviews, royalties pouring in. I dated again, finding a partner who saw my art as a strength, not a flaw. Lily grew, her birthday parties now filled with genuine joy, no whispers, no judgments. Looking back, that hissed insult was the catalyst. It hooked me into action, reeling me from victim to victor. In the end, the leech wasn't me, it was the toxic family sucking the life from what could have been. And I emerged, wings unfurled, ready to soar.